Welcome back. So today we're going to be doing a set of mermaidy nails. Eek! I've got some lovely things to show you, but first the colours. Well, these are lovely too. We've got some Madame Glam colours. I've just chose like a turquoise, a lilac and a pink. I have got Crystal Ball, Lilac You a Lot and the Boardwalk. These are three of my, I don't know, I kind of, these are like go-to colours for me if I want like these particular colours. Anyway, that's them. They're beautiful. You can save 30% using my code NATMUG30. This is the new Cotton Candy Micro Mylar from Nail Sugar and I love it so much. It's really, you wait till you see it on the nails. Oh, it's so good. And also these decals from Nail Sugar, these ones are called the Seashells water decals. You can save 10% on all of Nail Sugar's stuff using my code NATMUG10. So for this set, this nail, I thought I would do 3 of the colours in like different areas. I don't know why. The other 2 nails I do ombres, and this one I kind of wanted it to be a bit patchy, but it didn't. Yeah, I don't really know what I'm trying to say here. I grabbed my ombre brush to try and blend the colours together a bit. So I just blended down this part. I did turn my brush, by the way, so that the turquoise was the right side. I didn't want the turquoise on the pink bit, if you know what I mean. And then I wiped the brush to get the excess gel polish off, and then I done it this way, but I shouldn't have gone all the way across because the pink shouldn't have gone more than sort of halfway across. Am I making sense? But I couldn't quite work that out at the time. It was only when I was editing I was like, oh yeah, that's where I went wrong. I couldn't work out in my head why they weren't blending very well. I hope you know what I'm on about. Anyway, it didn't end up too bad in the end because you can't really see it because we're going to cover it up with some of that Micro Mylar, so don't panic, it's not the end of the world. I would, however, probably do a full colour nail or a third ombre personally, but you know, do whatever you want to do. You don't have to create these like for like, it's just here. I just do these for inspiration. So this one is a 3 colour ombre. I'm blending the turquoise with the purple, and then I will wipe the brush off between a wipe to get the majority of the gel polish off. Then I will move on to the purple and pink blend. You can do it with a sponge and some acrylic powder. It's a bit more time consuming, or is it? No, maybe it's not. That's going to go in the lamp to cure. And I've done 2 coats of these. You can see I've done a second ombre with the colours going in the opposite direction, and then I've also done a full nail of pink. Right, the pink nail we're going to sort out first. I'm going to take my decal sheet, I'm going to cut out, you can put as many on as you want. I decided to go with 1 of each colour, and because the nails I'm using are quite long, I decided to go with the bigger seashells. I love that Karen has different size decals on the sheet, so you can choose which ones you want. So as you can see, I cut around the majority of the decal, so we pretty much just had the actual shell design. Don't know what that is. This is water. I'm just dabbing it onto the back of the decal. You don't need to oversaturate this, just a little bit. What's going to happen is the decal will suck up that water. I've left this in real time, and then look, after, what's it been, several seconds, the backing will slide off. And sometimes when I do decals, I will paint the back of the decal in with some white gel polish, and then I will cure that, and then I will stamp it. But I'm quite happy today to stamp these straight onto the pink. By putting the white background on it, it just really helps to bring the, like if you're doing these on a black gel polish, they won't show up at all, so you'd need to fill in the back. Do you see what I mean? There are certain colours that if you put decals on, you won't see them very well, so it's always a good idea to put a very thin layer of white gel polish on the back, like just around the design. Otherwise, I hope that makes sense. So we've got our 3 decals on now. I'm going to go over this with the Velvet Matte top coat. Again, you can go over with shiny if they're for you, if you prefer shiny or your client wants shiny, you do it with shiny gel polish. My preference is always, well, no, not always actually. As you'll see later on in the video, it's not always matte, but I do like 8.5 times out of 10 tend to go with matte. Right, so what I've done on this nail is I want a super tacky layer for these micro mylar little flakes. So I've put some base coat on the nail, a very thin coat, and then I've only cured it for 20 seconds, and then I'm burnishing that micro mylar into the tacky layer of slightly uncured base coat with my brush. And then what I will do is I will dab it down with my finger just to make sure they're all flat, and then I will pop it in the lamp for the last 10 seconds, and I'm going to do the same thing on one of the ombre nails. Now initially I decided I wanted to velvet matte top coat these, however I do decide that they needed to be shiny. I'm going to show you them both ways though, so that you can have a look, because it does look nice. It does look nice matte. However, I think it just looks a little bit nicer shiny. Like you can kind of see here, but it does look nicer in a minute. Right, that's going to go in the lamp, right? This one, what I'm doing is, because this one I decided I wanted to shiny it, I'm going over with a very thin layer of base coat. This is, pardon me, this is to just help like smooth out the nail. What have I done there? I don't know what I was doing there. I've been watching Red Eye on ITV. All of you in the UK, did any of you watch Red Eye on ITV? It was quite good. I watched it on catch up. I actually really enjoyed it. It was very good. I would recommend it. I was probably, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, this is just, if you've got builder gel, you could go over with a thin layer of builder gel and give it a buff before, or a file, but probably a buff, because you don't really want to put masses on, otherwise the nail will get bulky. Not quite sure why I wiped off the tacky layer then. Oh yeah, because I wanted to file it. Right, with this you might get your side walls might get a little bit rough, so just buff it. That'll just help get rid of any like annoying scratchy bits for your client. You don't want them to have little scratchy bits. And then I'm going to go over the top with my Madam Glam No Wipe top coat, and then I will pop this into the lamp for 30 seconds. Look how gorgeous that is. I think shiny was definitely the way to go with this. And then lastly, I forgot to top coat this one. So this one I'm actually going to do matte, because I want to put crystals on top of this one. If you're going to do this on a client, I would probably put the crystals on first and then top coat afterwards, but in the top coat up the sides of the crystals, just to give them a little bit more longevity. This was the nail with the patchy colours underneath. I've put a little bit of my lilac onto my palette, and we're just going to paint on the like mermaid, like fish scales, you know, the fishy mermaidy scales. I decided I was going to make these quite big. They're just like upside down, just like U shapes, sort of, you know, like upside down. Yeah, you know, U's. It's just like that. Or like little drapes, you know, like, or is it scalloped? Is it called a scalloped edge? I don't know. But I wanted to make these quite big, because I'm using gel polish and I'm doing this on a shiny surface, so the gel polish is runnier than gel paint, so it will spread a little bit. So I thought if I try and do it as thin as I can, if it does spread out, because I'm making the pattern quite big, hopefully it won't, you know, it won't be too thick, because I didn't want them too thick. But yeah, we are going to continue this pattern all the way down the nail. So this was me here telling you I'm going to do that all the way down the nail, and I haven't cured it yet, but I was quite pleased with how it turned out. I'm going to use this for this next bit. I'm going to use Nail Sugar's Angel Dust. This is a very fine sugaring glitter. I absolutely love it. As you can tell, Karen does send me everything that she releases for free, because she's amazing. But I did buy some more of it. In fact, I bought a load of this. Because I just love it. I'm going to put it into it's harder to tell on this because it's got that shimmer. if the gel polish is soaked it up enough. So yeah, I leave it on there for a little bit of time before I pop it in the lamp. And then I give it a 60-second cure just to be on the safe side, and then you can dust the excess off once it comes out. And I was really pleased with how this nail turned out. I love the shimmer of that glitter. I love it. I was really pleased with that. Whoop whoop. Right, the next nail, I've grabbed some AB Preciosa crystals. I've got a pear shape, I've got a navette shape, I've got some round shapes. These are all flat back crystals. And then I've got some small, I feel like I'm shouting, I don't mean to shout. These little raindrop ones, these are actually AB Zodiac crystals. I don't have any little Preciosa crystals this size, which I was quite surprised about, but I do have lots of these. So I just mapped out the design on a back of one of my crystal trays, because sometimes I like to do that before I actually go onto the nail. It just gives me a bit of direction. Does that make sense? Because sometimes a lot of the time I go through life not really knowing what I'm doing. And it's no different when I do nails, you know. Sometimes I actually was really good last night. I have mapped out, so I've got 3 nails sets that I need to edit, which I'm doing right now. And then I've got 4 designs that I have planned out in my planner. So I'm trying to be more organised, and I think that's just going to help me be a bit more productive. So this week I will only be doing, I'm going to try and do 2 videos a week from now on. And I'm hopefully going to push it up to 3. I just need to make sure that I am really strict with myself, and because sometimes it's easy to go to work at school and then come home and just want to chill out. But I think I'm going to have to, get myself in gear. Right, those are, you can save 10% by the way on those crystals using code NATMUG10. They're from Crystal Parade. I'm going to add some caviar beads as well. I don't do this on camera, but this is the finished set. I absolutely love these. I hope you did too. If you did, please leave me a like. If you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Thanks to all of you who are still here. I love you all very much. God bless. And I will see you all in the next one. Love you. Bye.